And we are back. Thank you for staying with us. Earlier on, I had mentioned that we will be having a storyteller on set with us, and the time is here. Yes, we have Chief Nyamwea, who is a storyteller. He's also an author, he's an illustrator, he's an animator, and the founder of Uli and Tata, and also the director of Uli and Tata. I'm sure you're wondering, Uli and Tata and Yogani, you're about to find out. Chief, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Vivian.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful. Traffic wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, great to be in Thursday Entertainment.
It's a pleasure to have you on here, and we love stories. So the fact that we have a storyteller here today, we're in the right place with you here.
Thank you.
You know, we're about to get into the stories. First of all, I want us to begin with just getting to understand what Uli and Tata is all about. Yeah.
So Uli and Tata is a 2D animated kids show aimed mostly at 2 to 8-year-olds, although we have gotten cases where their parents and elders love the show as much as them. And the show is basically about a brother and sister who, through playing this old abandoned musical instruments, they summon a big giant bird out of the sky, and the bird takes them on adventures to discover about the culture and nature of Africa. And so far we've done 10 episodes around Kenya and also in Tanzania as well, with ambitions to go across the continent. The show is currently screening on Akili Kids. It does about 5 million views a week, and also, you know, growing quite a bit on YouTube. So we have a strong young following.
That's really nice. Before we get deeper into that, let's first get to understand who you are, where your love for storytelling began, and why Uli and Tata, you know, right now. So let us in on your story now.
I am 40 years old, so I probably wouldn't give you... I wouldn't give you all 4 decades worth of history, but maybe I can take you back to the origin of how I got into making Uli and Tata. Before that, I've been in the creative and storytelling industry for, I would say, maybe 15 years, since I did my first graphic novel in 2010. And all that time I was making crime fiction stories. There was a time I had a comic in the Star for about 4 years called Robber. And I was doing that doing entertainment aimed mostly at my peers. But when I became a father, which was about 6 going on almost 7 years ago, all of a sudden I realized there was a huge gap in kids entertainment, because we would go online, we would look for, kids, they love music, they love dancing, and we would look for stuff from our region, and we couldn't find. It was just Coco Melon, Baby Shark, all those other earworms that irritate adults. So we got on a mission, and we were like, we have the talents in East Africa. We call ourselves Silicon Savannah. We know how to make cartoons. There's no reason why we should not have cartoons that are representing, our part of the world. And that's what set us on the mission, my partners and I. That's Sarah, who's also my spouse in real life.
Oh, nice.
And Manu, who at the same time had also become a father. So the show is named after our children. Tata being my son. In my mother tongue, Tata means father. And Uli is his daughter, because she used to keep the tongue out of the mouth a lot. And we called her Ulimi. So the show became Uli and Tata. And that's basically how it became, and it's just mushroomed from there, and our ambition is to keep creating more kids content. This one in particular is aimed at singing, at music, and also culture, because we want culture and music to be together. Sorry, we want culture and nature to be together, not the old style of like wildlife cinematography where they would only show animals in a world without people. We want them to be together.
I really like that, and it's really nice to know that it came from a need, that you lived the experience, like you knew.
Necessity is the mother.
So what do I get to put, for my child to watch? Because most times, as you said, we are watching things that are not made from here, and then you brought us Uli and Tata, which is now storytelling, but from our own stories. We get to get into our own culture. We get to listen to our own music. That is so thoughtful of you to do, because I'm sure most parents are enjoying it simply because it's closer home. It's closer home. And I've just looking through the YouTube, your YouTube, I realized that you do it in different places, right?
Yes, yeah.
So there's one written, yes, Uli and Tata, and then there's Samburu, there's, you've gone to this other place, you've even gone to Tanzania. So when you, for example, the one for Samburu, is it that the storytelling now is around stories or the culture of the Samburu people? Tell me more about that.
So the format of each show is, the show usually starts in their home, which is in Nairobi. We wanted a place that's more cosmopolitan. You know, the kids' identity could be, you know, from anywhere in Kenya in particular. And they have a problem, and usually solving the problem involves learning a lesson that comes from the song. So if you take the Samburu one, for example, you know, the lesson was about friendship and about community. And that's what the song brought out. The song in that case, I think, was Sabache. Oh, Sabache, Ndore. And if you take the one from North Rift, which was based on the Ogiek community, the lesson was about courage, because the song is all about bees and the importance of bees and the value that they bring to our life. But the young boy is terrified of bees. He's so scared, he has a phobia. So when he sees a bee, he runs into the store and locks himself. So the lesson in that song was that you can't get to the thing which you love, which in his case is honey, unless you face the thing which you fear, which is bees, which is an important lesson for any kid to learn. So what makes the show interesting is that we don't just come up with the scripts, you know, out of the blue completely. The scripts are derived from the songs. The songs are the ones that give us the basis for the scripts we write. Okay. Yeah, so research becomes very important. Actually, you know, traveling to these locations, learning directly from the people, so that we don't just create a stereotype.
Yeah, so the songs inspire the storytelling.
100%.
It inspires the script.
Yes.
So where are these songs coming from?
They come from the people. They're public domain properties. You know, these songs come from the people, and which is a really
songs
powerful.
That are already there.
Exactly. They're songs that have probably been sung for hundreds of years. You know, older than the Republic of Kenya. Which is great because you know, we've had cases where adults cry. You know, adult is looking after the kid, and then Uli and Tata comes on, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is from my childhood," and they never expected to see it in this format in a popular media.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I can only imagine how that feels. You know.
You don't have to imagine. You can watch and see. Yeah.
That. We don't need to imagine. Uli and Tata is a thing, and it is there. It's actually on YouTube.
Yes.
If you search Uli and Tata, you will find it there, and you can get to also enjoy it with your children or your nephews and your nieces or your grandchildren. It is there. And the thing about it is the fact that now it can be watched by, it can, as you mentioned, it's from age
the core audience is
7.
The core audience is 2 to 8 years old.
I said newborn.
But you know, music, African music is special in that anyone can listen to it, anyone can jam with it. You know, the musicians are amazing. And I love the music personally. I would listen to the music myself. You know, like people are going for long drives on Christmas. We're working very hard right now to put the music on Spotify, even registered a music label just to focus on the music side of things. So it's special in that way, in that I think everybody, yourself included, will enjoy the music.
And I feel like that's a part of us keeping our culture alive, you know, keeping our stories alive. And I just want to get to hear from you, what's the importance of that, specifically, mainly from, you know, beginning with our young ones. You know, as you know, this is when their brains are developing. This is when, you know, everything is now, they're starting to understand things, you know. So what's the importance of them now learning from this culture that you are kind of preserving, you know, through Uli and Tata?
Thanks for that question. My partner Sarah has a background in psychology, and she always says that it's so important for children to see themselves represented in the stories they consume, in the media they consume. Because if you don't have that, the subliminal message is that my identity, my people are not worth seeing, you know. And if you think about it, like, we've been raised on, you know, Japanese cartoons, anime, you know, American cartoons, and like all of this, but we don't see ourselves. So we're able to relate to people all around the world, but unable to relate to ourselves in a way. So it's very important for self-identity, for confidence, you know, for going into the world and understanding that your perspective matters. It's really important for the development of a child, and that's something that we have lacked. So we wanted to make sure that that is not a problem that our children will have. They will have other problems when they grow up, but they will not have the problem that they did not see themselves represented. You know, if they want to go out in the world and, you know, become doctors, you know, whatever, great artists, scientists, whatever, they will have the confidence to go out and do that.
We'll be getting to watch the behind the scenes of the making of Uli and Tata within no time. I am sure that clip is ready. But before we get to that, you know, I get what you're saying. That representation is very, very important.
Yes.
Because I remember growing up, we really never got to see ourselves on screens, you know, when it comes to the content we were watching as children. Even the dolls we were playing with, I'm seeing right now things are changing, you know, they have the black dolls with our kind of hair and all of that. But growing up, we would play with the Barbie dolls. So that's what you feel like, this is what beautiful looks like.
Yes.
You know, you don't think that this can also be, or this is also beautiful. So that representation is really, really important. And I'm getting the fact that, you know, it's coming from someone with a background of psychology.
Yes.
So clearly it is proven. So tested, approved, and trusted, as one Banaboy once said.
Exactly, yeah.
I love that. So now with Uli and Tata, are the characters actual children?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's inspired by our real children, but not voiced by them. They're voiced by, you know, older children. So if you, obviously a 5-year-old might not have the maturity to be able to perform as a voice actor. So the actors that we used were 10, 11, 12 years old. The guy who plays, the boy who plays Tata is called Fadili, the girl is Tiana. The big bird that takes them on the adventures is John Sibiokumu, who you might know. Oh. So yeah, it's a good cast. We're very happy with them. And yeah, it's a very committed crew. Yeah.
How long has it been airing now?
So we did our pilot episode about 4 years ago, and then spent the next 2 to 3 years looking for financing to be able to make the series. And then finally we benefited from a program called Creation Africa. The seed funding was from Kenya Film Commission, and then there was a program from the French Embassy called Creation Africa, which allowed us to make more episodes. And then eventually National Geographic came on board, because our other partner is a National Geographic fellow, which is what allowed us to finally go beyond Kenya and go to Tanzania. So it's been going on since, I would say, proper since 2023. Yeah, end of 2023.
Yeah. And right now, I mean, you mentioned that, you know, the videos can garner up to 5 million views.
That's on Akili Kids, the
one
TV
that
station.
Is on Akili Kids.
Yeah.
It gets that kind of traction
per week.
Do you feel like more people now know about it, or we still have, you know, people who don't have an idea that they search? Because I'm sure maybe there are people who really didn't know, and they have their children at home and they would love them to watch something that is, you know, feels close at home. Yeah.
Well, for sure, from a marketing perspective, you must never assume that somebody knows about what you're doing, you know. So I'm always happy to make that introduction and to tell, you know, people about Uli and Tata and what's going on. And I always get surprised that they're still growing audiences. There are still people who are not necessarily on YouTube, you know, and we are constantly expanding to new territories. And sometimes you get surprised where people are watching. Like in our pilot episode, we had so many views from India. And that was never our target, you know, audience. But, you know, by all means, we should allow it to continue to expand. So other things we are doing, for example, is that this weekend, on the 7th of December, we'll be having a kids festival, the first of its kind, you know, celebrating culture and nature from East Africa, and call it Pungulu Party, because our company is called
Pungulu.
Pungulu? Yeah. Well, our company is called Pungulu Pa. The makers of Uli and Tata is called Pungulu Pa Productions.
Oh, but why that?
Pungulu?
Yeah.
Well, we just wanted something that would appeal to children, something that's playful, not too serious, you know. And
Pungulu is like a term we would use. Ameanguka Pungulu.
Pungulu. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's we wanted something that's playful, that everybody will recognize anywhere you go in the country, even outside the country. If you hear Pungulu, Pungulu, Pungulu Pa, you know, you'll assume that it's something playful. Yeah, that's why we called it that. Yeah, and it's also the call that the bird makes whenever he comes to see the kids. He'll land on the top of the house and he'll say Pungulu Pa. Yeah.
Okay, so you're having a kids festival, whereby you're going to be having, of course, children coming to the festival. So what should we expect from the festival?
So the festival was born just basically from demand of parents, that there was a group of parents who were like, we love the show, but we don't necessarily want our children to only experience being in front of computer screens. We also want them to have some sort of real world interaction. And that's when we started thinking, like, how can we take it off screens and into the real world? So we started, conceiving of Pungulu Party. We scouted venues, and, Ngong Racecourse was a really good venue. So it's going to be at Ngong Racecourse this Sunday from noon to 7 p.m. Live performances. So you'll have the same songs that are in the show performed live, interactive. All the kids will have instruments. They'll be able to play. We'll have every vendor will be made in Kenya. Different foods from East Africa, puppet show. We'll have Buni Media having the Matata and Friends puppet experience. And we just wanted to give something different, not just the usual bouncing castle and, those type of generic kids entertainment. Yeah.
All right, so how about we get to see the behind the scenes, the making of Uli and Tata?
On YouTube in search of these. Are you ready to go? Yes. Are you recording? Yes. Okay. Uli and Tata's African Nursery Rhymes is a 2D animated series aimed at preschoolers. It follows a brother and sister as they fly on the back of a magical turako from Kakamega Forest in search of Africa's disappearing nursery rhymes. The series was born 5 years ago when I became a father myself. And the children had an insatiable appetite for song and dance. And I didn't have that many. So I did what any millennial parent would do. I went online on YouTube in search of these, and I found nothing. Nothing from our part of the world.
Yay! You did it.
I realized that given the skills that we had as animators and creative people, we could actually do something about it rather than just look helplessly. So that set us on a mission to create Uli and Tata.
I prefer Namlolwe.
The series is actually inspired by our own children, my son being called Tata and Manu, our partner's daughter, being called Uli.
What is so exciting about this project is having stories for children experience culture and sound and music, and then they bring it back into their real life experience.
One thing Kenya has is a diversity of languages and a diversity of sounds. Uli and Tata gives us a chance to let those voices be heard, let the visuals in those communities also be seen in an animated format for children to have some pride and also some relevancy to media that's from their place.
Research is very important in what we do. It's actually at the core of Uli and Tata's African Nursery Rhymes. A lot of the times as Africans, we are poorly represented. And so what we like to do is go straight to the source and get an unfiltered and authentic experience, which allows us to translate it into content that's good for our kids.
I haven't seen any animation represent places in Africa the way I have seen this. The stories thread and weave through from the past to the present and to the future. Future generations will be able to see this time capsule of past, present, and future interacting in a fun, relatable, funky, engaging way.
We need more and more production from our space that showcases who we are.
Pungulu Pa production. That is such, it was so beautiful to see, just the behind the scenes. And, there's someone who mentioned that they've not seen representation of the places, of places in this country like they've seen on Uli and Tata. And I want to agree on that. I love the fact that you're not just doing it in one place. You move around the country, you move around the continent, because you've also gone to Tanzania as well. So it's so good because we're now just getting representations of our spaces, our scenery, and yes, we're seeing it in anime, but of course anime it's bringing things to life. So was that on purpose? Was that intentional from the start?
Yes, it's very intentional.
Mm-hmm.
For so long, the diversity of our continent has been weaponized against us, It's been used to sow division and to hold Africa back. But we are realizing that, you know, our diversity is actually our greatest strength. The fact that within 1 hour of traveling, you can be in a different culture, you can be eating different food, you know, it's amazing. And it's something that can really be a great asset. And I feel like it's part of the work of nation building. Nation building is not just about government policy and, you know, this type. That part is very important. But it's above all also about culture, about the media that we create, about the films that we watch. And that's what actually makes us into one thing, you know. So I feel like you can't love what you don't know. I can't love somebody, you know, living 8 hours away across the country if I don't know anything. So the first step is that our kids, let them be able to sing in all these different languages, so that Tanzania is not an alien place, so that Northern Kenya is not an alien place. You know, this is like home. Yeah.
I love that. And on that note, we take a break and then we'll come back to wind up on the conversation. So that is one of the episodes. Yes. Tell me about that particular episode.
Wow, that's a special episode because it was episode 1. That was our pilot episode. The Manu's originally, our partner is from Kakamega, so we wanted a pilot where, you know, we already had a few networks and resources and that type of thing. And, you know, Kakamega is also special because of the rainforest that's around there. And the song Simbindi is about planting seeds and, you know, the importance of planting seeds. It was also a chance to talk about the water cycle and how, you know, trees relate to rainfall. So that's what the episode is about. And, yeah, it was special. It has a special place in our heart just because it was episode 1.
It was episode 1 for you. Yeah, Kakamega is where my DJ is from, is it?
Yes. Representing.
Yeah. So you represented him as well.
Asante.
Yeah. From the other clip that we saw before seeing that, the one for the BTS, the behind the scenes clip, we can tell that a lot went into the production. I mean, just seeing the product, you can tell that the production is A1. And from the behind the scenes content, the clip that we've seen, I've noticed that you've worked with the best of the best.
Thank you.
You know, so a lot really went into the making, or goes into, because it's something that is continuous.
Yes.
A lot goes into the making of it, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Animation, one of the best things I love about it is that it's a team sport. And most cases, people don't know who make their animations. They'll watch a cartoon, and unless you're very keen to look at the credits, most people don't know who's involved in making it or what goes into it.
Yeah.
And that's, in a way, I kind of like that. I like that, you know, it's not a very egocentric business. It's a team sport. Nobody makes a season of an animation by themselves. It's, you know, a lot of people who don't get seen. It's not even just people working in software. There's the research team that go out into the locations. You have the storyboard artists who turn the scripts. You have the script writer, first of all, the storyboard artists, visual development team who draw the backgrounds, who draw the characters. You have the people who animate with the software. Then you have post-production. And then, of course, you know, producers are very important, you know, because they're the ones who make sure everybody is on time, deadlines are being met, and marketing. So there's a whole team. You know, we were privileged to find really good people. In the video you saw Mandela performing the Winyo song. We had Polycarp of Sauti Sol Fancy Fingers, who was a music director for a bunch of the songs. So children unite us. they bring out the best in us, and I feel like they're the best in humanity. So, you know, especially for a lot of these artists, they're parents themselves, so they also want to see their children have what they did not have also.
Yeah, and that's really nice to just get to witness. I want us, for example, say, you mentioned that the songs inspire the story that will be told.
Yeah.
So you find a song for that particular episode,
Yes.
and then now it inspires the story. I would love for you to like take us from, as we finish, from inception now, which is we already know the inception is the music. So now from the inception, how do you go about it until we get to see now the production that we get to watch? You've mentioned the people involved. Now just take us through. We find the music, and then what next?
Okay, so in the case of, I'll talk about maybe when we were in in Tanzania with the Hadzabe. They were so fascinating. They're really fascinating people. One of the last remaining hunter-gatherer groups in East Africa, and they were able to communicate with a bird called the honey guide. They were able to sing to the bird by whistling, and the bird would lead them to honey and, you know, the places where honey is. And they have what they call mutualism, in that they provide the bird with wax, because the bird likes to eat wax of the honey, and, you know, they get honey. So they even make a song, you know, in praise of the bird, and they whistle to the bird. They whistle, it sounds like so when they talk like that, the bird comes fly. And I actually witnessed this myself when I was there. So we were like, let's build a song around this, where they go and they find this Hadzabe boy, and they have a song about Hale Hale Atikiliko. Their beloved bird is under attack from another bird called Hale Hale, and they have to rescue that bird. So we wrote a script around that, and then you know, got the performers to perform the song, and then the usual pipeline process, which I explained, from storyboarding to visual development, animation, post-production. And yeah, that's it. Yeah. And it's at its peak, I think the crew at its peak of production is between 35 and 40 people. So yeah, like I said, it's a team sport.
It's a team sport for sure. Involves a lot of people and
Yes.
involves a lot.
Yes.
All right. So now for the people who would love to get to watch it, okay, we mentioned it's on Akili Kids.
It's on Akili Kids on YouTube. If you just search for Uli and Tata, if you'd want to meet us live, and you know, to meet with other kids, and you know, we have Pungulu Party, which is great during this festive season. It's going to be happening at the Ngong Racecourse. Just go to MOOC and search for Pungulu Party, or if you search for Pungulu Party, it'll be the first search result on MOOC, so you can get your tickets there. If you have kids, DJ, or you don't, not necessarily only if you have kids. You might have nieces and nephews, or you know, kids who just want to, you know, meet with other kids, and we'll, you know, put the best possible show for them.
Yeah. So on Sunday.
On Sunday at the Ngong Racecourse.
2 p.m.
From noon.
From noon.
Yes.
From 12 all the way till 7 p.m.
Yes.
Go with your children there, go with your nieces, go with your nephews. Allow them to enjoy. You know, sisi kama watu wazima tuko na vitu zetu za kuenjoy nyingi sana. For the kids, I feel like it's usually very limited, especially in Nairobi. Aside from them just being in the house in front of the computers.
Yeah, Magorofa. We don't even leave playgrounds nowadays.
Playgrounds. So I mean, this is a fantastic way to allow your kids to just go interact with the other children. So I think this is a really brilliant idea, and probably maybe you should be doing more of such.
Yeah, we hope so. So yeah, this is our pilot, as we say in film.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for bringing Uli and Tata to life.
Thank you.
Because now you're blessing, you know, our kids in one way or the other with the representation. I feel like that is really important.
Thank you,
So
Vivian.
asante sana.
Shukran.
All right, this is where we end this conversation. I am sure that you have gotten to enjoy it. And for those people who are hearing about Uli and Tata for the first time, yeah, it is there. It's a Kenyan thing done by the Kenyan people. So yes, get your kids on it.